Now then everyone, it's Craig here at AHDB. I'm just here with Charlie Copley, arable farm manager here at Reaseheath College farm. Charlie, you're our cover crop champion for the Northwest, so welcome to the project. Do you want to just tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and what brings you to your current position here on the farm?
Yeah, so I come from a dairy farming background and then moved into contracting. So I very much came into the industry after college, and then I worked for the college a few years ago, went back into the industry, and then came back into be the arable manager here.
And how long have you been at the college in this position?
So currently I've been here 2 years.
And we're currently stood here in a field that's just been harvested from maize. So when was the maize cut in this field?
So the maize was cut the 6th of October.
Yeah.
It was an early maturing variety, so a cyto variety, purely forage for dairy cattle. And it's one of the fields we want to look at putting cover crops on to just reduce the soil erosion in winter.
Yeah.
And the other benefits that we get.
So as part of the Cover Crop Champions network, we've got representatives all around the country in different regions that are utilising cover crops in different ways. The interesting one about this is we're going to be obviously looking at following a maize crop, and as you can see behind us, we're here in October, suboptimal conditions for harvesting maize at the best of times. So one of the things that we want to explore with this project with Charlie is looking at different cover crop options to help with that soil recovery over the winter period and see what conditioning we can impact the soil into the following crop. So with this particular field, Charlie, what's the likelihood for the following crop here? Because it's traditionally a field that's had a lot of grass in it within the rotation. So what are we looking at after this maize crop and once we've terminated the cover crop?
So potentially at the minute after the cover crop we're looking at maize again. It's just what works in with the rotation around the farm and the ground conditions that we have. And it's an easy to access field, it's away from the main road, and it's good for the students to come out and see because it's close to the college. So potentially maize again for this following spring.
Yeah, so you just touched upon it there. One of the good points about working here at Reaseheath College Farm is the inclusion of the students. So we've just been in the field earlier today taking base measurements for our soil tests, and we had the students around and we were just talking to them about how to take soil samples, what the preference protocol for doing that is using the AHDB Soil Health Scorecard, and also how to conduct a VET assessment using the guidance that AHDB can provide through its website and also soil management packs. In terms of the soil testing itself, we've been looking at soil nutrition, but we'll also be testing for soil mineral nitrogen, and we'll use that going forward into the next crop. Something that we'd briefly discussed earlier as well was using cover crops in this situation. At the moment we're going to be looking at establishing the cover crop imminently into the harvested maize stubble, but we're also discussing potential other uses for cover crops, and we may continue with this in the project later on if we do go into continuous maize maybe. But the idea of putting some form of cover crop in the understory whilst the maize is growing, so that when it comes to this harvest point, as opposed to having bare soil like what we see here, we might have a situation like what we've got here where we've actually got cover already on the ground, and Charlie and myself we can tell just by walking over the field whether it has been that bit of cover. In this case, it just looks like to be some form of weeds just in there. Actually, how much drier that part of the field is compared to down here where we can see the wheelings from the machinery. Obviously compacting that soil, we've got standing water, and then just off the tram lines we actually have this really nice friable soil in the middle. And as we've been doing our VET assessments, we've been quite surprised at the condition of the soil in between where the traffic has been. So how would you describe it when we were digging down, Charlie?
Surprisingly, after we have had a bit of rain before harvest, and we did expect it to be heavy in this, but it's well broke. It's crumbly soil. It's easy to break up, which it was a surprise to me certainly.
Yeah, to say the amount of rain that we've had and the traffic that's been over it, really surprisingly friable soil. Even with the moisture there, it would easily crumble in the hand. We've moved slightly further into the field, into a different section where we'll have a different cover crop going in, and this part that we're stood on right now seems to be sitting a lot wetter generally. It is tougher, so when we've been doing the VES assessments, still similar number of worms in the worm count, which is encouraging, but the actual condition of the soil seems to be consolidating a bit harder. We've seen lumps of clay close to the surface that are very difficult to break, so it'll be interesting to see when this field dries up how it behaves and what the cover crop impact can be. In terms of other stuff, we're going to go on to our last section. We will be leaving a section of this field that will be uncovered over winter, so mainly with the VES assessments it'll be interesting to see how that soil conditions as we get into the spring, having been exposed all winter. The cover crops that we'll be using, we've been sourcing the seed from King's, is that right?
Yeah, so it's King seed through BCW. Our agronomist is from Graham Harris from BCW. We work very closely with him he covers the gaps in the knowledge and helps us plan out the following year.
It's important to have these people involved, and as I say, it's another perk of working here with the college. We're hoping to get a lot more out of this than just what's going on farm. We've got a lot of students that are going to be involved with the project who have farms at home, so we're really looking forward to keeping them involved with the project and have something that they can take away, maybe not just going back to their own farm, but for their future careers, for whatever they end up doing, and hopefully learn a lot more about cover crops from the other champions in the network. So we'll get on with some more sampling, I think, and carry on, and we'll keep posted. When will we be drilling the cover crops in here?
Fairly imminently, depending on the weather. I'll try and get in as soon as possible. It'll be min-tilled in with a Kuna Espro, so straight into the stubble, one pass, will be established, so nice and quick.
Awesome. Well, we'll look forward to updates from Charlie in the field as the season progresses, and we'll go from there. Cheers.
Thank you.